Hey, how you doing there? Welcome back to the channel, Frosty Sugar. And, yeah, welcome back to another Trigger Tuesdays. I'm gonna try to do this every Tuesday. I'm available to do this. It's gonna be sort of a personal thing. Kind of just, sort of just random conversations or whatever, what have you. It's still fairly new. I have done this on a previous channel, and it was a little bit, I guess it was a little more popular there because I guess I had a bigger following at the time. I don't have a great, gigantic following right now, so I'm probably not going to see a lot of comments for quite some time, I bet. But if anybody really feels like having a little bit of a discussion on some kind of point or topic, go right ahead. I'll try to talk with you on whatever it may be. This is sort of like the same thing I'm kind of doing with my veracity or randomosity thing, but I just put gameplay over it, and I just do this on Tuesdays, but whenever I get the time for it. So one thing I kind of wanted to talk about for today would be autism, and as far as what it's sort of, as far as autism goes, there's a lot of people that do have it. There's a lot of people that understand the struggles some of those people go through, and they understand some of that's kind of difficult. And there's some people that pretty much call everybody a retard and just hate everybody in almost every kind of way. Now, I actually have AS, or Asperger's, which is a part of that. I think the way they want to diagnose it now is, trying to diagnose everything all together, just like, let's just mash all the food together like Thanksgiving dinner and everything will be okay, But there is some differences as far as some of the autism goes, and I think really maybe a little more so. I kind of probably want to stick to Asperger's and things of that nature, because I really can't go too far into the other kinds. And I was actually diagnosed by a doctor, and it was about 6 years ago or so, and he ran me through like 12 different tests. So he did, diagnose me for that, and I was literally diagnosed for that. There's a lot of people that will talk about Asperger's or AS, and I'm not sure fully if they are. I can't honestly say if they're all, if they have Asperger's. A lot of people say Asperger's, and it was kind of a joke for a while. There was this comedy guy that was, and I think he must have had some autism too. He was doing it for a while, and I don't know. I guess it depends on whether you think that's humorous or not. But I think after a while seeing stuff like that, I wasn't really, I wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't very funny to hear about things like that. Even when I told one of my friends that I've had for a very long time, and he started going over that joke, or he tried to, keep insulting me in a way, or making a joke to kind of, I don't know if he was trying to liven me up or trying to completely insult me, but, it kind of hurt. It kind of hurt, because you go through most of your life, you don't think you have anything where you're a little bit different than other people, but then you find out later on you kind of are, and, there's times where, I still feel like I'm not really, hardly any different than other people, though. But I guess with the way that people see me, or the way that I act around them, I guess there's certain things, like typically people with Asperger's will have sort of a passion for some things, like what you see with my Brigandine games. I've played those for so many years. That was a 1998 game, and still playing it today. It's almost going to be 20 years old. Still playing it today. Jeez. I mean, some people will, have some kind of thing that they'll really like, that they'll always wear, or something to that nature. I mean, yeah, I've got some of my favorite shirts and stuff that I've had for 10 plus years. I have not getting rid of them. Don't intend to until they turn into, complete holes or whatever. Oh, the gameplay you're watching is Guns Up. I'm not particularly watching it right now, but I just kind of wanted to talk about Asperger's a bit, kind of go over that. One hard thing, especially for me, I mean, some people with autism have I mean, I've heard this thing about flapping, like people would flap their arms. I haven't really seen anybody actually do that. I think people with very severe autism will probably do that if they're upset, but I haven't physically seen that. I don't know why that's even one of the things about autism. I don't even think people with Asperger's flap their arms like a bird. It's like, what are we, birds? Are we, what the hell? What are you trying to make us out to be? I mean, this is maybe some of them do that, but I don't know. I've never done that. One thing that's actually pretty difficult for me is and this is the reason why it's also difficult for jobs and stuff, is if I'm at a job and there's a lot of background noise that's going on. It's like the boss is talking to me or someone else is trying to talk to me or something to that nature. I won't hear what they're saying. And you'll be like, well, yeah, that makes sense. No, I mean, this is like very little background noise, not like very loud background noise, just very little, because it's like it's like I hear everything, and then I can't hear anything. You know how people can kind of like pick out what other people are saying amongst a crowd when people are talking? Well, I can't really do that very well. I kind of fall short there. So that's a really difficult thing, and that's something that you go into a crowd, nobody will understand this. I mean, everybody will look at you like, oh, you're young, you don't have hearing problems, or something of that nature. And it's not that I don't hear, it's just that the way I hear it, it doesn't work. Like, it doesn't work for me. It's like I'm trying to organize a jumbled a mass of words. I can't put it all together the right way, so I don't understand what the hell was said. Things like that, some social anxiety too and stuff like that. It's I don't know. It's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, there's a lot of people that will look at you, and I've had people say in the past things like, "Oh, well, you look normal," and once I found out that I had something like this, I was starting to get really pissed off at that, because I'm thinking, I'm right about to swear at them. Just like, yeah, you look normal. I mean, you can't. I think that's kind of a total insult, in a way. Like if you look bad, then there's definitely something wrong with you. You have to look a certain way in order to be normal or be extremely successful. So when I have people look at me, they smile at me, they want to talk to me for a bit. I try talking to them. There's times I have nothing to say. Like, I don't know what to say. It's not that I hate the person or I don't like them. Just I don't really know what to say. Just if I just say hi, how's the weather, or something stupid like that. I mean, it's like I don't even want to talk about that. I don't want to go into that. I don't want to talk about that's stupid. Nobody wants to hear that, and I'm sure they don't want to hear something like that. Like, I don't know what to talk about unless there's something that I have a pretty strong passion over that I like to talk about. Then I'll talk about that. But the thing is, when it comes to that sort of thing, where some people are excited to talk about that sort of thing, I realized that after a while I end up talking too much about it, and it seems like people probably get bored over me talking too much about it. I go too far into the conversation talking about a certain topic or something like that, something to that nature, and then it just ends, and I'm thinking, why did it end? Why did that happen? There's times I wonder, like, why don't they just change the subject to something else and try to talk about something else? Why does it have to be... there's a lot of times I feel like, why does it have to be me that has to find some way to shift the conversation to let it continue? It seems like whenever I'm trying to talk about something, I feel like I can go on for a while. I feel like I can go on for a good amount of time about that topic, but then, the people I'm talking to, they either get annoyed, they don't want to talk anymore, or they get annoyed, they're bored, and they want to go home or something of that nature. And this applies to friends, and it's like, well, what the, like, what the hell, you could talk about something related, or say, hey, what about this or what about that? I mean, there's times that, I'll talk to some friends I have on games about game things. But if it comes to almost anything else, it's almost like I'm just talking to myself, or they have no interest at all in certain topics. And there's times I really want to talk to somebody about something that's, pretty important to me, but I can't because when I go and talk about something, I guess I talk too much about it, that I think that they get angry about it, and then they don't want to talk anymore. It's not like they can it's not like they can actually think to change the topic to something, or to help, finish the conversation that I'm talking about, to move on to something new. It seems like almost this is what normal people do. It's almost like if you initiate something with somebody else, as far as somebody that doesn't have Asperger's, you initiate something with them, you pretty much have to carry on the whole conversation, moving back and forth yourself. Whereas they will just follow along and, move along with the steps and throws of it. It seems like that. It seems like there's always some kind of leader trying to move the conversation around, and then there's a follower that just follows along with it. Almost seems kind of difficult. I mean, there's other people that I can talk to that have AS2, or some people with certain things similar to it, and I can kind of have a conversation with. Sometimes the conversation will end abruptly, and then we'll talk about something else, something to that nature. But typically, it kind of moves. It sort of flows back and forth like that. I guess, particularly for me, it's like I want to talk about something until there's like a good point being met in something that I really like to talk about. And if it's not met, it's like I can't think of anything else to talk about. So it goes on. The party continues with what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get to my point, and sometimes I get off topic trying to get to my point because I have to sort of derail myself from the main topic to throw another conclusion onto, throw another additional fact onto it to get it to, work. I guess I don't know how to describe this perfectly. I wish I did. I think I'm kind of making some sense of this, but the thing is, it's easy for me to talk to a mic and just, talk over a video and kind of explain things than it is in person a lot of the time, because there's times where I try to say something like that and it's either not received well at all or completely ignored, to some degree like that. And so I think it's always been difficult. Like, finding out when you have something, you're just a little bit difficult. Things are a little bit more difficult for you in comparison to other people, where you can see other people going and talking and having fun in a crowd, and you're just like, I don't know what to say. Unless there's some kind of game that I can play that I'm going to do well at, I don't really know what to say. Like, even if I go play pool or shoot pool or something like that, I just like to shoot pool. I don't really go there to converse with anybody. I just like to shoot. I don't know, it's relaxing, and if someone comes up to me and says, hey, do you want to shoot with me, or something of that nature, I'll say, sure, yeah, or, I'm just practicing. Depends on what the person looks like. If they look like they're going to want to hustle me or want to play for money, then no. I'm a decent pool player, and there's times where I can excel to the point where I look amazingly well, but it's like, there's times where I could fail completely. So, I'm not quite the shark level yet, but I'm kind of close, I think. If that's bragging, I'm sorry, but I gotta say how I've been all my life. So I'm probably like 80% chance I'm gonna beat most of the players out there. About that percentage. That's pretty good, I'd say. I'm better than average, honestly. And it's not to brag, I just know I've been, like, if this was something like air hockey, I don't honestly remember ever losing air hockey ever to anybody. Even my dad when I was a kid, nobody. I think that one game I could probably be a god at. I mean, if I had to play somebody, even people I played that said they've never lost at air hockey, I've still beaten them. And that's, I guess it's sort of bragging, but I think it's cool. I think it's cool that, and I think that's what a lot of people do, is they always have something they're really good at and they like to somehow show off somehow. And I don't really say these things too much, but as far as playing pool or something like that goes, like if someone comes up to me and asks me if they want to play pool or if they want to play doubles, yeah, I'll play doubles. I'll play with a team. We'll just shoot for fun, and I'll talk somewhat. But even that, it feels like I'm trying to talk to people, and I just get completely ignored, and it's just all about the game. Like even in video games, more than half the friends I have are just game friends. Some people I can talk to a little bit here and there, and kind of rely on them a little bit, but it's not to hardly any real extent degree. It's like if I had to go, live with somebody else for some reason because there's some catastrophe, I don't think there's anybody that I could really trust, or they'd already have somebody else they'd be going to do something with. Like if there was a zombie apocalypse, possibly, if I have certain people I know that they all want to meet up at a certain place, possibly. But other than that, I honestly don't really know who I can really trust as a very good friend. I've got decent friends, but as far as them contacting me just randomly off the out of the blue, just to talk besides video games, no, nothing, not a damn thing. And it's actually kind of sad. I kind of wish I did have some decent friends, and there's times even if I try talking to people on the internet or whatever, I kind of think, hey, maybe I've made some kind of friend, but then I realize it almost feels like the way things are nowadays, it almost feels like I can't make friends with anybody anymore. Everybody wants to be some digital avatar on Facebook or some kind of picture meme somewhere, and there's nobody to really talk to anymore. There's nobody to be see, when I grew up back from the 80s, I'd go and meet people and try to be friends with them and this and that was kind of the thing, and so I was more into the real physical nature of it, personal nature of it. And then when it came out with Facebook and stuff like that, I thought, oh, I could just, have my friends just move over digitally. And there were so many times that I would just stay on Facebook and I would like things or try to talk to people and this and that. And I felt like I was making some friends with people. But then I realized for the most part, after a while, it just became me initiating the conversation with people. And I'm like, well, this is kind of fucking stupid. I'm sorry, but I mean, there's times that I get, kind of either upset or passionate about something, and sometimes certain swears in certain situations are almost fundamentally accepted. And the thing is with YouTube, you see so many people swearing all the time. It's not to say that that's like, okay, well, everybody's swearing, I can too. It's difficult when you see it so much to stop yourself from that. I think the reason I did that other video with the swearing thing was because it wasn't so much like I'd like to stop it to keep it down to a level that I'm not, doing it to a big degree, because I realized there are certain things that I could talk about that I probably shouldn't talk about right now, because they're pretty bad things that have happened to me, and if I start talking about it, I will start swearing like crazy. I will get super irate. And so the best thing for me to do with that is to keep it on a down low. And I really can't talk about this. And I don't know if I ever really can. It's nothing that I did. It's something that's happened to me. And it's happened to me in the past, and it's like, I have gotten it out. I have told some of my friends about it, but even then, I just don't know if even telling them they realize the seriousness of the situation that it was. I don't know. I mean, I think possibly, but even then, it's like there's times that I feel like you're going to get upset, you're going to get passionate, it's going to come out, and this is going to happen. But I think as far as a lot of the YouTubers doing this regularly, at every second of every moment of every time, I think it's overused. I think it's so overused. I saw this movie called Demolition, or I think it was called Demolition, and what was it, Jacobson Garrel, or I don't even know the right name, but it might have been with a J, and his last initial might have started with G, I think. And he was trying to teach his kid how to swear, because his kid was swearing every single word was a swear word. And he was trying to teach him how to swear. And it sounds hilarious because, like, why would you teach a child how to swear? But some people don't have the degree to stop themselves in that manner. So he basically told him how to do it, and to make sure that if he does do it, to make sure it has a point to it, so that, you know, there's an actual point to it. So it's not just you're swearing all the time or something that degree. I don't know why I'm getting, you know, off topic about that, but I think that's another part of it too. It's another part of it. I think the Asperger's is getting off topic and, you know, talking about something a little too much and not correlating the fact, you know, back to the present thing initially. And that's been a hard thing for me. Because another thing, I don't really want to swear too much, especially because, you know, I do have a child. You know, if she actually does watch some of these videos, I want it to be somewhat rated G. I mean, I know I have some game videos, and if she does, you know, I you know, it's like I would like it to be somewhat family friendly, but I don't know how it's gonna really go. You know, I don't really know how that's all gonna turn out, because it seems like you watch a lot of these channels now, a lot of these YouTube channels, a lot of these pretty famous, good, you know, YouTube channels. Even I watch them too, and they swear a lot. And some of them, when they swear at the point where, you know, a point is made, it can be kind of funny. I'll laugh. I mean, I've seen a lot of movies, like Deadpool is one of my absolute favorite movies, and there is some swearing in it, and there is some pretty bad stuff. It's not a family movie, but there's not as much swearing in it as some other movies. And for the most part, the swears are just kind of like randomly inserted to kind of make a point, but it's mostly just a lot of verbal humor that Ryan Reynolds does. A lot of verbal humor that goes back and forth. And that kind of truthful humor, in that sense, I think is hilarious. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's I don't know if it's a double standard or something like that to not swear, and then, you know, to like hearing it or something like that. I'm not sure necessarily. I think the point that I would like to try to make with that is, like, try not to overall, but if it comes out, it comes out, and, like, if it comes out at a moment where you're upset, it does. But the thing is, like, you know, even being a Christian, you know, that's, I don't even know if that's considered a sin, you know, as far as being a Christian goes. I'm not sure. I mean, I think if you swear at somebody, that can be a sin. But I think if it just comes out, it's sort of it's almost like a no-no. You know, it's almost like, hey, don't do that. That's not nice. But it's sort of like a kind of a frowned upon thing. And it's always one of those things that I've kind of been in the middle of, you know, been in between. But, like, you know, as far as what I would like to present to people would be content or things of that nature, words, without the swearing. But then there's times where something could happen and it could just come out. I mean, I don't know if I have a slight bit of Tourette's where it just comes out sometimes. I can't say. I never was tested for that. But I know there's times where I get upset about something and it'll just, you know, I'll just start swearing like crazy, you know, if there's something really bad. So maybe I do have a little. I'm not sure. Never been tested for that. I don't even know if that's really the thing. Maybe it's just the Asperger's part of me. But I don't know. I don't know if I fully made any sense with that. But yeah. As far as the AS is concerned, it's really tough. It's really tough to make friends, and there's times where I don't even want to make friends, and it's sort of like a confusing thing. It's like a confusing thing. There's times where there's certain people I don't want to make friends with, like someone that would be swearing like nonstop, 24/7, and just acting completely macho, you know, and calling everything gay, you know, because, you know, you're not talking about women or something of that nature. It's like, you know, I don't want to be this person's friend. And from me growing up, realizing that most of the people that are very hateful of gays are probably gay themselves. They're probably so very potentially gay that they're going to insult everybody about it in hopes that they won't turn that way. A lot of reflection goes on in some people's minds and some ideas and things of that nature. But and the thing is funny because there was a person that I grew up knowing, and they would sort of do that. They would try to act all macho, bodybuilder kind of type thing, and then call everybody gay. That wasn't talking about being with a woman or having a girlfriend. You didn't even have a girlfriend. You couldn't even get one because of whatever circumstance you were in. You couldn't even get one, and they would call you gay, or they would call you a fag, or something of that nature. And it's like, and at that time, it wasn't uncommon to call people that, as an insult. Now it seemed kind of frowned upon. I don't think it's necessarily a good thing, but that was kind of that 80s, early 90s mentality to do that. And so he would do that, and later on, find out this person is gay. And I'm sure there's a ton of people like that, that are constantly insulting other people, trying to put them down and call them gay, because secretly within them is a very gay person. And I'm not gay myself, but I have known a friend that was gay that was in college. I've known a person that was there in college, and he was gay, and he was a very nice guy. He was a very nice guy. He didn't hit on me. It was kind of a good thing. I think he knew that I wasn't gay, because I wouldn't have wanted that. But he was a pretty nice guy. I don't see anything wrong with it, honestly. The thing is, I think a lot of people didn't like the gay community for quite some time, because they always thought, well, all the gays are going to be out in public kissing other guys or kissing other girls or something of that nature, openly doing that. And the thing is, even if heterosexuals do that, I don't like to watch that. It's like, even if I have a girlfriend or a wife or something of that nature, I don't really like watching other people kiss. Even if I'm double dating, even when I was double dating when I was married, I didn't really like watching the other couple double kiss, because then it's like, okay, well, now I have to kiss my wife, or I have to kiss my girlfriend. It's like, it's almost a dare in a way. It's almost like, well, now I did it, now you have to do it. And even though when you're an adult, you're in your late 20s, and you still feel like you have to do this competition stuff, because after they kiss, they both look at you. If you don't, they will literally both look at you like, oh, when are you gonna, or when are you, like, come on, okay, all right, and later on, half the time, I would just start kissing my wife or my girlfriend or whatever, if we were in a double date and they just started kissing. Because I'm like, you know what, I don't want to get that look, like, from the other couple, like, are you gonna do it too? Something. So, sorry I've gotten off topic with all that, but that's just kind of what I do. That's kind of how I am. If you like this or want to see more, let me know. I don't know what else to talk. Well, I guess I could talk about autism a little bit more, with the fact that there's things and there's videos on YouTube where people will talk about autism or make fun of, like, retards or something to that nature. And I've seen some videos where people will start to insult someone with autism to some degree, and then later on someone will say, hey, did you know that person had autism? They're just being the way that they are. There are bad autistic people. I mean, as far as it's concerned, I mean, I have it, so I can literally, it's like I have it so I can say it, like, you can't say something unless you, like, if you were to talk about someone with, like, if you were to talk bad about someone with myotonic dystrophy and you didn't have it, then somebody else with myotonic dystrophy would get angry with you, because you'd be like, no, I can talk about this because I know more about it than you do. Now, I don't have the severe ultimate kind. It's not good, but it's not super bad. I mean, it's not like I'm, sitting here drooling all day. There are some people that have some pretty bad autism where they really can't do much at all. And I'm sorry, that sounded bad. I don't know. Maybe that didn't sound bad. I'm not sure. But there's some people with some pretty severe stuff where they really, I guess, Down syndrome. I don't really know what they're gonna call it in the future. It's almost seems like with the way that they with the way that they term the DSM or the whatever it's called anymore. I don't know. Whatever way that they use that. They're just trying to categorize everybody with autism in any sense, but there's different kinds. Mine is somewhat severe in the sense of like work related things and things of that nature. But other than that, like I could have a conversation with somebody about something that either we both have the same passion about for quite a long time, or some other slight random off topic kinds of things. So I don't know what else to really say. I think I've burned myself out with this. I don't know. This might be so much information, your head might explode. Like, oh my gosh, how could he have all? This is too much to take in. I can't take it all in. I'm sorry, but it's just one of those things that happen sometimes. So, don't know what else to tell you about. Hopefully this recording turns out well. If you like the game Guns Up, I'll probably just keep doing this for this Trigger Tuesday kind of thing. Let me know what you think. Anything at all. And, yeah, I was trying to get my rankings back up there, but I don't know if it's going to work. I'm not playing every single day. So, yeah, we'll see. In any case, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.